Well, you know it's a big day and a big video when I'm in my 5-year-old's room recording. No car today. Big video time. This is probably actually going to go in the seminar playlist that I have. I'll link above to the seminar playlist, which are just some of, in my opinion, the most helpful videos I've made over the years. They're usually longer, but some of them are short. But before even recording this, I can already tell you that this is one of the more important videos on this channel, at least for a lot of people watching. And that is because I'm going to share a technique or approach, you could call it, in regards to meditation, in regards to stress management, in regards to manifesting better things in your life. I'm going to share a technique that is so simple and straightforward and easy that really anybody can do it. And I'm not just saying that, like anybody can do what I'm about to describe. And it's not going to shock you except in its simplicity. This is like an obvious Adams type of bit of technique and bit of advice. And we've discussed it before on this channel, but I don't know if I've ever laid it out as clearly and as simply what you can do to feel, to basically feel better than what I'm about to lay out. So I thought I would just explain this technique or approach as simply and as clearly as possible. And it's this. This is what you can do. I would say to feel better. But in the very least, if it doesn't directly make you feel better, it's going to ground you in a good way. What you can do is you can spend, I would say at least 5 minutes, but I would recommend making it more like 10 or 15 minutes when you start. You can spend at least 5 minutes a couple times a day. I would say ideally try to do it like 3 times a day, like in the morning, around when you get up, in the middle of the day-ish, when you can find at least 5 minutes to spare. And then in the evening, shortly before or right before going to bed. You can spend 5 minutes just sitting down or lying down if you feel like you won't fall asleep. But I would recommend, at least when you start, just sitting down, getting comfortable physically to the best of your abilities, just sitting there. That's it. That's the technique. If you just do that for at least 5 minutes 3 times a day, it will do stuff. And like I said, I would recommend trying to make it more like 10 or 15 minutes a day, 3 times a day. But that's totally understandable if you don't want to do that, especially at first. I mentioned in yesterday's video that, like, if you want to experiment with this type of idea, you could do 3 times a day and have 2 of those times just be 5 minutes, and then have 1 time that's longer, like 10, 15, 20 minutes. But the power of this technique, why I think it will, in the very least, ground you some, but I think also, generally speaking, make you feel better. And also, generally speaking, actually help you manifest things you want in your life, make your life easier, and have more good things come into it. Why it works is because it's just so damn simple, straightforward, and revealing of what's happening right now in the present. It makes you more aware of, like what I like to call like the inherent aliveness, fullness, and you could even say abundance of the present. there are no tricks or anything needed here to do this. If you want, this is optional. If you want, before you start your 5 minutes of sitting down comfortably, like on a couch or wherever is comfortable for you, or lying down on the couch, and I would recommend doing this probably with your eyes open. You can close your eyes if you want, but I wouldn't even try to like daydream or visualize or anything. I'd probably do it with my eyes open, especially when you start doing it. If you want, at the beginning of doing this for 5 minutes, you can intend something very gently, like I intend peace, or like, if you have a statement or affirmation you already say that you like I am, one with the universe, I am one with God, or, whatever makes you feel good. It could be anything, it could be related to something very external that you want, like, I now have a loving partner, or I now make $10,000 each month, or whatever. It could be something more specific like that, or it could just be like, I'm one with the universe. It could be anything. If you want to have an intention like that, you can say that at the beginning. That can help ground you if you want. But the point is, you don't even have to do that. And when we're just sitting there on the couch, we're not trying hard to think of our intention or what we just said if we did use that. We're just sitting there. We're just being. If it feels good to you and nice to you to bring that intention to mind while you're sitting there, that's totally fine. But I'm saying just sit there. Just sit there for at least 5 minutes, preferably longer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But start just sitting there for 5 minutes 3 times a day. I mentioned yesterday that this is a lot of what Richard Dotz talks about, and it absolutely is. It's also like what I talk about in the last section of my short guide, The Joy of Not Thinking, the vibing out exercise. But the vibing out exercise, I think, deals a little bit more with like being relaxed during it. I'm not even telling you to be relaxed. And Richard Dotz's stuff, generally speaking, is about like accessing like a frequency or vibration, and can sound too ethereal and esoteric. You don't have to do that, for sure. You don't have to do that to have this exercise be effective for you. I'm just telling you to sit on your butt for 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. Probably keep your eyes open, breathe naturally, relax your body as best you can, but you don't have to feel relaxed. Your mind can be racing. Your body can feel weird. It does not matter. Just sit down for 5 minutes and just be there. So simple. So simple. While you're doing it, you might have plenty of thoughts to say, this is stupid, this is a waste of time, why am I trying to do this, what am I even doing here, this is a complete waste of time, etc. None of that stuff matters. You can have your timer set on your phone or whatever, just mark off 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, just sit there, see what happens. Just sit there. Don't look at your phone, don't read anything. Don't engage. This is being a so-called neutral observer, but without any of the esoteric nonsense that we so often hear associated with being a neutral observer. This is literally just, I'm sitting on my butt, I'm just here. Powerful exercise, technique, approach, whatever you want to call it. We talk about it and explore it a lot on this channel in more esoteric ways, but the point is you can strip it down and take all that esoteric stuff out if you want. And I like the esoteric stuff, don't get me wrong, but if you find it doesn't feel relevant to you, this is relevant to anybody, in my opinion. You sit down or lie down and you're just there, not trying to get anything, not trying to do anything special, not trying to visualize a certain thing or think of a certain statement or align with a certain feeling or frequency. None of that. You just are there. Very clear. If you have questions about this, you can contact me on my website, www.radicalcounselor.com. But I don't think you're going to need to contact me when it comes to this technique. Share it with loved ones. This is something anybody can utilize, and it can be helpful. So I hope it helps you.